more things that's wrong with Netflix right now.
I mean, you would have thought.
And then Apple went down by 6%, which was totally. They said it was that valuation based on how much they went down because they're no longer the most forth company. That's like a whole Walmart or some shit like that.
It didn't Tesla.
Just that one drop was worth what Walmart's worth. Type of
Tesla didn't they just get removed from the S&P?
S&P 500, but a certain index in the S&P.
Yeah, the ESG or something like that.
Yeah, the ESG basically.
ESG,
S&P 500, and they went down from, like you said, from 700 now to $100 and something this morning. I was looking at the shares this morning. They went from 700 now. It's at 178 this morning. It was trading 178, 180.
No. Tesla was about 1,300 or 14.
Well, before,
yeah.
But I'm talking about year to date.
Yeah.
Year to date, I was like,
correct. Yeah. People, what's going on? This is Bob from Mentourme.com.
Alongside Mike the Advisor. What's going on, y'all?
Tonight, we're talking about, we're having discussions about things that's going on in America. We're going to go in a couple of different areas tonight. It's not about relationships. This is about just understanding a lot of things that we've talked about, a lot of things I've talked about to really better us to having better lives. As we're going to start off with the economy itself, right? A lot of people are getting laid off. A lot of people only have that one stream of income. Unemployment is not enough for a lot of people. And for some of you that's born in the United States, you shouldn't need unemployment. But that's a whole different story there. I'm always teaching and preaching to our culture and just the culture in general, just people in general, individuals who book me, whatever the case may be. Open up your streams of income. People, if you're not investing, you're not winning. And tonight you're going to see what's happening. We're going to start off with, Carvana.
Well, before we even get into that.
My God.
Let's just start with, obviously, the economics, right? We're in a situation to where, I mean, Bobby, right now, I mean, anywhere you guys look, it's not really good economic news, right?
Nothing.
But let's, you know what? Let me back up. Let's start with that. So I sent Bobby something earlier this week, and they were talking about Carvana, and
oh my God, multi-billion-dollar company who jumped to the sky so quick.
Correct. And it was a great clip. And it was from one of the news channels in Arizona, and on their actual YouTube, so it was a legit source. And multi-billion-dollar company, they fired a third of their employees. I think like
2,500.
Yeah, 2,500 people to be exact. And of the 2,500 people they fired, the same day that they fired those people was the same day they acquired an auctioneer company, a car auction company. So it was obviously strategic. And one of the employees was speaking, he didn't like how they handled it. They just fired everybody.
With the stocks.
Yeah. He didn't like how they handled it. And, big buddy.
Yeah.
With with the flaming hats and everything. And it was funny because you gotta understand, it was a situation to where it was so funny to where, like, it showed so much how much Carvana didn't care because the reporter told them that it's because they fired so many employees. Carvana even told them it's to the point where they can't even go back to the office and get any of their belongings. Carvana's going to ship it to you.
Imagine how disrespectful.
We don't want you to come back
to get your stuff, your belongings, your personal belongings. We'll give it to you. Don't come back.
We don't want you to come back. We just want you to go ahead and just we'll ship it to your address. We'll figure out what's yours, and then that's it, boss. Leave us alone. So, but the reason we want to talk about this: are we safe in America? Tonight we're going to go into about two main topics, but we're going to go into a few different ones. But we're going to talk about economics and mental health, and obviously people, right? Relationships of people, right? Not more so relationships as much, but just people. But the main two main topics of tonight is going to be economics and mental health. So before we get busy, are we safe in America, people? Let's really think about this. On the first front, we're going to talk about the economic front. Are we really safe? And the reason why, when you hear Bobby talk about these things, why you need multiple streams and things like that. But let me say this, because I hate when people, it's a pet peeve of mine when people talk about this multiple streams thing, because a lot of people hear that and they don't understand how to pursue that.
It's true.
There's a science to it, right? It's not, you don't start dribbling the ball and then the next day you're dunking, right? You need to, or you're in the pros. In order for you to get to a certain level, it's baby steps, right? So You need to get one stream flowing enough.
Correct.
Or flowing, not meaning that you're making so much money, but flowing enough to where you have enough income and time to put into another stream on the side, 10 hours a week, 5 hours a week, whatever, and have a plan to execute that. Be intentional about that, right? A lot of people I see in life, Bobby, they're trying to start another stream of income so they can prove to other people that they're executing on what they said they were going to do, and they're rushing. They're rushing their own self when they're only in the race by themselves. There's nobody else in the race with you.
People, this is the one. What you're talking about is one of the failures.
That's their biggest problems. One
of the failures right now, people, is that I want to first say this. A lot of you don't listen. You're still doing you, and that's what's causing you not to grow in life, right?
Right.
Because here's the problem. You need other streams of income. You see this whole Carvana thing? I'm not even surprised.
No, not at all.
A multi-billion-dollar company, stock was probably at $30, jumped up to maybe $150.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, here's what's funny about the gentleman, the brother too, who spoke, is that it was they gave him a couple shares, maybe 20 or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, at the time, it was worth $3,000. Now when he left, it was worth $900.
He could have sold.
Yeah, he did. He
didn't sell.
Yeah.
And then he gets mad at the company when they fire him. Now, this is the problem with you guys.
But here's the thing, though. To his point, not to cut you off. To his point, they give the RSUs, which they can't. They're kind of like a golden handcuff in a sense, right? They give them to you, but they can't sell it right away. They got to invest a certain amount. So that's how they get you. So he probably couldn't even sell all of them if he wanted to. He probably could only sell a portion based on how long he's been there.
You see, that's
how they get you.
You're individuals working for Carvana, and these companies love doing this. They get excited. They reach a level of life where they're the hottest thing, like Peloton. And then once they reach that peak, they use a whole bunch of us as employees, right? And then once they're ready to get rid of you, they get rid of you. Just like Peloton, just like Carvana, just like Netflix.
Yep.
These companies are not stable companies when it comes to believing.
They just started.
Yeah, believing that you're going to have longevity in these companies. I would rather, and it's crazy to say this, I'd rather work at an Amazon or Walmart than a Carvana. Because I know a Walmart is not going anywhere. I know a Publix is not going anywhere.
Yeah,
I know Walmart is not going anywhere.
Let's talk even more.
It's just reality.
I just sent you something right earlier. Redfin, right?
Oh,
for people who don't know, right? Even
know.
Redfin talked about they gave an offer to a graduate, right? Girl went to school. She did her part. They accepted her.
Imagine.
On Netflix, on LinkedIn, I'm on this today as we speak. Literally 30, 45 minutes ago. And the girl's, letting everybody know her background and everything. Unfortunately, she posted a letter. Redfin, it was literally a 2-sentence letter on a letterhead for Redfin saying, unfortunately, due to economic uncertainty, we are rescinding your offer for a product designer at Redfin Corporation. We hope we wish you on your best with your endeavors. Have a nice day, type of shit. So it was just like, if Redfin, as of now, is already rescinding in May, currently in this month, May 2022, are rescinding offers because they feel it's based off of economic uncertainty, which they're in the real estate business,
correct,
which obviously is going to get hit. I'm not going to be the one to predict a crash, right? I'm just going to say for sure it's going to get hit. That's what I can predict. It's going to get hit because it has no choice. When rates rise, it costs more to get money.
Oh, your money's right? More expensive, 100%.
So what $3,000 used to get you, right, a month,
reduces due to inflation.
At $700,000. Now that same $3,000 a month gets you a $500,000 house. You just lost $200,000 in purchasing power. So yeah, because most people buy houses based off what? Payment, not how much the loan is, how much it is.
Nothing.
I could afford $3,000 a month. What can I get? Or you can get up to $700,000. Well, that same $700,000 house you thought you can get, you can't get anymore, right? It's reduced. So when we talk about this, are you really safe? It's important for people to really think about. You don't have to have multiple streams of income, meaning you got to leave your job. Have a job and then have something else that you do. You need to be in a side hustle business. If COVID didn't teach you nothing, you need a side hustle.
You would have thought,
or at least something else that you could do quarterly that gives you some money extra, an extra 10 grand a quarter, whatever.
People, I make decent income and I'm still like, these bills are real. And not to be rude, there's a lot of people that don't make more than maybe $60,000 a year, maybe $50,000 a year.
Yep. 5 figures.
And let's be honest, you're making 5 figures. The cost of living is to the roof. Inflation is to the roof.
But your income is not.
Your income is one income that you're dependent on. Do you understand? I've been talking about this for years. Open up your minds, people, and get different streams of income. There are so many people struggling. And when these companies take your life away, and like they just did to the young lady in Redfin, they took her promised life away. Went to school, was by theory guaranteed the job contractually, and in a moment later, we retracted, we redacted that option and said, look, we're not ready for you anymore. We're not giving it to you anymore. At the end of the day, what do? Do you complain? Do you run to unemployment, or do you say, hold on, let me start to think differently. Let me start to build my own.
Right.
Let me start to be more creative.
Right.
Let me start to take my skill, because she, based on what they were hiring her for, the position, you have a skill that's a necessity to a lot of social media individuals or influencers.
Correct.
That could really make a lot of money if you really understand what you're doing. But here it goes again. We're putting all our lives and putting it in these companies and hoping that they don't fire us, or hoping they don't lay us off or furlough us, whatever key word they want to use at the moment. And this is why many of us struggle, can't pay our bills, can't save. You're working check by check because of decisions.
And I want to talk about, and that's a great point, but when it comes to economics, right? Before people do anything, I feel the first focus should be getting certain basics, in order. Not saying you have to have all your ducks in a row, but start getting down that path.
100% credit.
You can't go all your life and not have these ducks in a row. You got to have these. This is the stable.
So important.
People want to talk about financial literacy, but you're not willing to put in the work to be literate.
And it's a real issue. Mike, a lot of people have no savings, bad credit, don't own nothing, been with these companies 5, 10, 20 years. They didn't give you nothing. They're using you up. They fire you when they want. They don't give you, that famous overtime. You don't get raises. At the end of the day, you're not growing. How are you and why are you letting these companies use you? And there's so many of them. While the CEOs are making $20 million every quarter, $50 million every 2 quarters, at the end of the day, you're sitting here fighting for crumbs, trying to get $20 an hour, begging them for $20 an hour, and they just take your life away. We're gonna furlough you, do the budget cuts. Imagine that, Carvana.
And here's an article which I was looking for, right? 2,500 at Carvana. Let's talk about Netflix, yo.
Oh,
right?
Man.
Let's talk about Netflix.
Multi-billion-dollar company.
So here's the issue with Netflix.
So many competitors.
This is from Business Insider. Netflix lays off around 150 employees across divisions amid slowing growth and subscriber losses, right? And here's the thing. These people were hired, literally, most of these people were hired not too long ago.
Yeah.
So they just got the job, and then they just got fired from Netflix.
Oh, man.
Now look at the market. There's many reasons why Netflix is having these issues, but you could do the research, right? Do the knowledge. But out of all your subscriptions to watch and stream services, which one is the most expensive? Most likely it's going to be Netflix, because their prices actually just went up. So now it's $20 average a month, and you got all these things like Hulu, Netflix, HBO Max came out with one, Disney, all these different things came out with
different options,
different competitors,
correct,
which are half or quarter of the price, right? Streaming services. So, and on top of that, the real reason is because of this. On the heels of an unusually rough quarter and forecasted decline of 2 million subscribers. It's so bad that Netflix is being sued by investors right now because they feel like they lied about how much people was really subscribing to them. There's lawsuits pending as we speak. So a decline of 2 million subscribers. Netflix laid off approximately 150 people on Tuesday. Right, the layoffs, which impact most of U.S.-based staff, are due to slowing revenue growth, according to a statement from a Netflix spokesperson. These changes are primarily driven by business needs rather than individual performance, the statement said. So the personnel cut, right, the company has about 11,000 people total. So as Deadline first reported, the layoffs impacted at least employees in executive ranks, at least some employees in executive ranks, including original content.
Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine you're working for Netflix, a multi-billion-dollar company, CEOs making billions of dollars, multi-million dollar salaries.
Right.
And the first thing they do, like I always tell you guys, I never lie. This is called the painful truth, as you guys know. I always talk about the painful truth every Tuesday night and Thursday night. The most expensive cost in any business is an employee, because they got to match your Social Security, your Medicare.
So why
they don't want that?
Why not get with?
They're gonna always fire you. You're the first thing that got to go.
So Bobby, why not get with the business, which I want to get into? You know, one of the next points before we get to our last point in economics is understanding what job and company to pick, right? Because the reason why Netflix failed so bad, I'll read this last one, is that in April, Netflix revealed that it had lost around 200,000 subscribers to its video streaming service in Q1, in the first quarter of this year. Its first subscriber loss in over a decade. Moreover, company leadership warned time of further subscriber losses in months to come, right? And executives blamed revenue growth headwinds in report to shareholders about COVID-19 and everything like that. So basically, what they're talking about, and plus, what another reason why some people subscribe is because that new upcoming crackdown of the sharing of passwords. Oh, I'm in my cousin account.
Oh,
them days is done, boss. Them days, oh, I got my cousin account. No, them days is done.
Man, I was floating good.
Yeah, them days is done.
I was sweet as kid.
Which in the beginning, Netflix was cool with that because they wanted market share. Now they got a problem with that, right? So it's a classic case of growing too big too fast.
Well,
right?
Based on that, how do you feel about Tesla? Tesla right now is controlling the market in the EV world, in the EV sector.
Yeah.
What happens when? Because BMW now just announced
that
they have every single line has electrical vehicles.
Yeah,
now.
Exactly.
We still have Chinese companies eventually trying to get out here, like NIO. We still have companies like Lordstown, which again they still have facility issues. We got Nikhil on the commercial side, because I heard that I just seen a post, if I'm correct, I think it was on Baller Alert, where they're putting out now a commercial truck, an EV commercial.
Yeah, it actually just came out. Actually, so a few influencers already bought it.
Is it true to believe that there's a big chance that Tesla stock could drop even further?
No, it could. There's one for 150 in one truck, but the base model and the one that goes 500 miles on one charge is 180,000 from what I heard. So So this is an electronic which is going to save people $200,000 a year in fuel costs, fuel consumption costs. So
that is the value. And again, there's no engine, so you guys got to understand too. A lot of these companies are going to make money off of. There's no maintenance that come with electrical vehicles, so you get straight torque.
Correct.
When you press the pedal, and again, the only thing you really changing is battery and tires. Really think about it. So and the most expensive cost in a truck, if you're a CDL driver, if you have CDL license, and you're a driver going from state to state, is what? The maintenance on your truck. What happens if that maintenance is taken away? Welcome to Nikola. Or welcome to Tesla, because these two companies is going to be the future and the right now. It's going to happen.
So January 3rd, the stock was trading at $1,199, so $1,200. Right now it's at $709. So for the year, it's down over 40%.
Okay.
Year to date. Right? In the past 5 days, it's been down 8%.
Okay.
Right? In the past days, it's been down 0.05%. Right? So almost a little quarter of 1%. So my point is this, guys. You have companies contracting. It is showing you what? That quality companies are always going to be here to stay. Because certain situations and certain companies are needed, which is why I like to talk about why you have to understand what job to pick and what company to pick. Because people are going to go work for Redfin and Netflix and these companies where people don't do the research to figure out, aside from the salary they're giving me, let me look at the business as a whole.
Very important, people.
And say, you know what? I'm going to give my life to this business, right? Meaning 40 plus hours a week. They're going to pay all my bills, and I'm going to depend on them as my primary source of income. Let me look at what role they play in the market. And let me look at other competitors that have this same position that I can work for, whose bank account is so wet, bank account is so full, they could pay for me throughout the whole pandemic and had not blink an eye.
People don't. A lot of you need to understand how important it is to what Mike is essentially saying is working for stable companies carry more value. eventually you might do a video on that. Teach you guys what are stable companies.
Yeah. I might have to
because these people just working for anything that's hyped up right now. They just like Carvana. You knew that wasn't going to be forever.
Yeah, it's a startup in a sense, and I know me and Bobby been talking about this for a while. He's been saying this for a while. Mike, you got to do something about helping people get hired with jobs, and this is something I'm kind of good at.
Very good at,
and understanding what to get into, what companies. Here's the thing, though. I'm always a proponent of getting a company that looks great on a resume, right? Think about it as an Ivy League in schools, but it's for jobs. Because yeah, education is important, but these jobs is what's paying your bills, it's paying for the kids, it's your livelihood. Health insurance that they provide, what other benefits they have. Look at the whole picture, right? Look at these companies like stocks, that's what they are. So ask yourself who you want to invest your time and wealth in, right? So Tesla's a volatile company. They're not going nowhere no time soon, but who's to say, Elon, with trying to buy what he's trying to buy, says, you know what, I'm gonna cut half this source and go somewhere else, or outsource this part of the business. Who's to say he doesn't do that, right? When you have companies like, major financial institutions, government organizations, you have to look at what are the crux, what are the foundations of an economy, right? Where does everybody need to eat at? Right now, as we speak, we're about to get into that next, is what happened in New York, right? Buffalo.
Oh, my God. I mean,
one city, that supermarket, Tops, was important to all of them. So much so, they got New York Buffalo Bills. They got all these different organizations. Company I work for offered $100,000, which adds up to about $10,000 a person who passed away. But $100,000 to the community, right? Because that supermarket right there was literally the only one on the east side of that area. So companies like Walmart, you don't hear them saying, "Oh, I'm gonna just fire all these people."
But you see, people don't think like that. The problem is with people when you're in the mindset of survival, whatever job you apply for, some of you that you don't care what they pay you, how they treat you, what's the history.
No. Here's
all
the problem.
You care about is
they only care about what they pay. They don't care about everything else you just said. That's the problem. They pay what? Oh, I'm gonna go there.
So imagine you don't care about the longevity, you don't care about the incentives, you don't care about the growth, you don't care about the stability. I just care about they pay me $25 an hour, but the $25 an hour could put you in a position where you might work 18 months and you're fired. And you're fired because a lot of you, as you make money, you love to go get cars you can't afford. You love to go rent apartments or houses you can't afford.
Right.
And then you're financially struggling because of what? You're not saving money. You can't save money because sometimes your bills are so heavy. Your expense ratio is so ridiculous. So this is why it gets to a point people think about what you're doing.
Yeah.
A lot of you DM me, complain about life, how life is so hard. But
first, look at your job. Who you work for? Get you something better. Stop working for these mom and pops all day. Get you something that gives you great stability great people. Benefits. My corporation just gave everybody who makes below $100,000 7% increase. We found that out 2 days ago, and that wasn't even planned. And it shows you that, damn, okay, they giving this, they giving that. Don't get it twisted. They getting the tax cut off it, but they making what companies making a year, they're making a quarter.
But I can respect companies that take care of their workers, because I remember a couple months ago, I was at Home Depot, and I was in the paint department, and the lady says, I haven't gotten a raise in 5 years. She's like, I've been begging Home Depot for a raise.
And while companies out here giving raises just because they have too much money.
Exactly. And I'm looking at the same Home Depot that was open all throughout COVID.
Yeah.
That never shuts down, making billions of dollars.
The same one who got supply chain issues. Yeah, the same one who's hurt by that. See, these are the things people got to understand, guys. Yeah. It's not easy. It's not easy. Don't get it twisted.
It's crazy.
But you need to get with what I consider too big to fail.
Yeah, you got to get with the big companies, man. It's like
get with something that's important. You get with a government organization in a certain department in that government organization, which mostly is related to money. You probably be all right.
You gotta value yourself and stand on something.
That's right.
Because the reality is, a lot of us we're not standing on nothing. You letting these companies pay you crumbs. You can't pay your bills. You're struggling. Inflation is high.
But Bobby,
the
you
cost
spoke
of living
about
is
savings. I want you to tap in a little bit more about savings before we switch over.
Oh my God!
Why savings is so important? Now, I got my own topic about that and what you should do.
Let me say this, right? At a certain point of life, I get it. Exposure is so important, Mike. So some people, they're not exposed to saving. Every time you make money, you should be saving 30 to 40% of gross.
There you go.
Every time. It needs to be a habitual habit.
There you go.
That's how bad it needs to be. You need to understand mentally saving is everything to your life, to building a foundation.
There you go.
Some of you don't save. All you're programmed to is paying bills once you get the money. You need to learn how to save first, then pay bills.
Yep.
Once you're not saving, this is the problem why when these companies furlough you, fire you, lay you off, whatever term they want to use to make you feel better, you're complaining, you're struggling. You're oh, well, I can't believe these companies did me wrong. They didn't do you wrong. You did yourself wrong, believing in them.
Right.
These companies don't care about you. All they want to do is pay you crumbs.
Correct.
And while these CEOs make billions, CFOs make billions, CIOs make multi-millions, what are you making?
Yeah. Yeah.
But my thing is saving. You got to think about it like this, people. Things happen. I don't know if it's me, but every day there's something new.
Yeah, there's always something new.
Car broke down. Family, this, that.
My niece,
always.
My niece about to graduate. I got to get her, some exotic car to pull up with. You know what I'm saying? It's just always something.
Something.
Right? So you might have family who needs help.
You
might have yourself. You
got grown adults not saving.
Yeah, 100%.
Grown adults, 45, 50, have 100%. No savings.
Because they don't make
What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, who taught you this?
Here's something that I always tell clients, right? And as somebody who advises people, the first thing I care about is what is your cushion look like? Before you talk to me about any investing.
Oh, I want to invest this, that, out.
No. That sounds great, Papa. But first, let's go through your vitals.
Your basics.
Think about me as a doctor. I'm your financial doctor. So before I prescribe you something that I know you probably can't take, which would be considered malpractice, right, in the medical world, before I do any financial malpractice, let me first figure out what your vitals are, which means how is your cushion?
Sure.
How is your savings?
Very
important. Can you manage 6 months? Can you manage 3 months? Can you manage a year without having to worry about, going through a job phase or whatever, a downturn, a recession, whatever. Those things are important. But especially in our state like Florida, but any state that you're in, most people who buy homes, right? Let's just talk to homeowners right now. Most people who buy homes, they're not buying homes, cash. Over 80% of home purchases are made with other people's money, with the bank's money. So you're using a loan to buy, right? So you don't fully own it yet. You're just paying on it until you own it. So, which means every time you make payments, a portion goes to principal, a portion goes to interest, right? That portion that goes to principal ends up becoming what people call equity. And a lot of times people get home equity lines of credit, they leave them open.
Oh my God, that's another problem, right? Home
equity lines of credit, they leave them open and don't use them. The reason why they have that is for what? Some people might look at it like, oh, I don't want to get no debt. I don't want to put no more debt on my own. I own it outright. That's fine, but there's something called there's something in finance we call a liquidity event. Meaning, where can you pull some cash from immediately, real quick? Not make 30, 40, 50 calls, supply these documents, XYZ, and then 6 months later get some money. We talk about tomorrow. Can you pull out 5, 10, 20, 40, 50, 100,000? That's what the home equity line of credit really is for, especially people in Florida. They leave them open. They don't tap it. Think of it as a big credit card.
And that's the honest truth, right? If you have a home and you bought the home at a certain price, let's say $200,000, and right now the home's worth $300,000. If it's your primary home, you could probably pull up 80 to maybe 95% of that difference from the 200 to the 300, which is $100,000.
Right.
A lot of you don't understand why is that important to pull that equity right now.
Correct.
And have that idle, because at the end of the day, you just don't know where this market can go. But there's also another side to this. Sometimes home equity lines of credit do close if your home starts to devalue and you didn't use 100%. The money.
I'm glad you brought that up.
If the money just sitting, you ain't been using it.
I'm glad you brought that up.
When the home price drop, they'll close the account.
Aha.
So it's imperative you have a plan in place with the home equity line of credit if you're going to pull it. I come from the island culture. You come from the island culture. I can't tell you how many times island folks just pulling out money out their house to go tile it up. that ain't bringing you no passive income.
Yeah, it's not.
You can't just use the money like that. You have to have a plan in place. Like, okay, well, if I pull out 200 from my house,
if you tally it up though, that means you got a plan to sell it.
For sure. If I'm pull out, I don't know, 200,000 from a property, my mind said, okay, well, let me maybe go try to see if I can find something where I can get 8 doors to pay that mortgage, plus make maybe 7,000-8,000 extra a month.
There you go.
You have to have a plan in place, but some people, you fail to plan, and that's why you're getting the results you're getting. Now, we were talking earlier, right, about the whole shooting.
Yeah,
we're not psychologists. We're not.
Let's get into that.
I really want to take time to talk about the importance of, right now, mental health is so important in so many dynamics. My God, this shooting, 11 people killed, majority black because there was whites.
There was one white.
There was whites. And at the end of the day, a lot of questions.
I just think she was a casualty because she was the first thing there. But
I'm confused. I got a lot of things to ask. Like,
here's the thing. Right now, what's going on, and if you people who don't know what we're talking about right now is Are We Safe in America? We first spoke about economics, why you need to have a savings, the importance of having a home equity line of credit available if you're a homeowner, and the point of that, and the necessity of that, understanding the economic trends that's right now, understanding what job and what company to pick when you're working there because of all of the layoffs from these startup companies. When we say startup, yeah, they may be old as you are right now. They may be 20 years old, 30 years old, but that's not really old in the corporate world, right? You have companies that have been around hundreds of years. So, and they play a real important function in the world. They're not leisure type of things. Like, you don't need Netflix. You just want Netflix, right? Correct. So my point is this, we spoke about that on the Are We Safe, right? Are you safe economically? We know that's not the case. You control your safety. Now, mental health, we're talking about the Buffalo killing. Yeah. For people who don't know, there's been a white boy. He's 18 years old, went into a city in Buffalo. Before that, he went and did some research, or what they call in the military, reconnaissance in that area. Correct. To see what it looks like, see where he's going to go. He has a whole map, what they call a manifesto, written over, I don't know, 180 pages. Like, I'm talking about long. It was very detailed, like over 100 pages from what, if I'm not mistaken. Correct. If I'm not wrong. But my point is this. It's so detailed, it's minute by minute by minute, letting you know, confirming not only his intent, which is what the prosecutor cares to prove, because he needs to show without a shadow of a doubt, beyond reasonable doubt, the intention of that murder. So that you can't call this, I got a mental health crap. No, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And when we talk about mental health, that's not what we talk about. What we're talking about is the fact that this man came in and decided to live stream it as well to show you his rage. And, I saw the unedited version of the video. Me too. I showed Bobby. Bobby already seen it. And it's not something I suggest anybody go try to find. Right? You don't need to see that image.
Condolences to all the families too, man.
100% condolences
to all the families.
And
such a
it just,
sad situation.
I respect companies that donate, provide money, provide support for those types of causes just because. Not because they had to, but just because. Yeah, correct. Right? Because it's so much, it helps with your brand equity, you know what I'm saying, for a long term. But I digress. My point is this. He killed majority of people, and a lot of this is what hurts me the most. Most of these people were old enough to be some of us. If you're a 90s, 80s baby, these people could have been our parents. Correct. These people could have been our older brothers. Correct. Or our older sisters. We're talking about 50 and older. The only young person who was below 50 years old was one 32-year-old white woman, who I think she just got hit because she was the first person in front of his gun at that time. So she got hit by default. But
is it safe to say, Mike, when you look at life now, I'm a man of faith, I'm not perfect. I never believed in killing people. But does it make you look at life differently and say, man, maybe it's time to understand the importance of being strapped and understand
of course. Of it. And here's the reason why. I've never been, I can't say I've never been, but here's my thing. I've never seen the reason because I've always been a person where all my enemies, I don't know them. Meaning I've been a person that people just like, people mess with me. I don't have beef with a lot of people at all, really. I don't get into all that. So everybody's not my friend, but I'm very cordial with people. I don't have issues. I don't get into all those, I'm not that type of guy that's going to go out. You're going to go out with me, we're going to get into a tussle. No, we're not. I'm not 50 Cent. You know what I'm saying? But my point is this. I've never been a person who felt that I need to carry that with me because I don't live by the sword.
Me either.
So I don't need to die by it. But this doesn't mean I'm naive. It doesn't mean I don't believe in carrying something with me and always being ready and always being aware. I'm always aware, but I felt because of my faith and because of what I believe in that I've been covered, I've been blessed, I've made it this far, right?
Yeah.
31 plus years, you know what I'm saying, almost 32. So where it's like, and all the things that I've done in my life and where I've gone and the opportunities I've gotten is not because of me, right? So it has to be something higher than me giving me this. It's just what I believe. But for the people who don't believe, I don't think that I need to keep one with me because I have people coming after me. I don't live that life, right? I'm not Young Thug. I'm not gonna. I ain't got no RICO charges.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's a whole different topic we're going to talk about.
Yeah,
we're gonna break that topic down.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not in the gang street life.
The
you know what I'm saying?
world, but,
I'm not into that. But my point is that to Bobby's point, when he asks that question, I believe now it's so much more important and imperative. And I'm saying this because I have my reference point is what the FBI says. The FBI director says our biggest threat is people who get radicalized homegrown or homegrown terrorists, which means this person, this Buffalo guy, he was brainwashed with propaganda online by other racist people on Facebook, specifically, for months on. I don't know how long he's been watching this. Correct. Because he had a history back in, I think, middle school when he had a false quote-unquote alarm of killing somebody or doing a shooting at a school, middle school. They evaluated him for a day and a half, they let him loose. That was his first warning to y'all, and nobody said nothing. They said, oh, he's just a kid, he's acting stupid because he's a white kid. Okay, cool. Years later, now he kills 10 plus people viciously.
Now imagine the man was shooting like he's Metal Gear Solid.
The way he it literally was like a video game. For people who saw the unedited version,
like he practiced
this was a video game.
From the first shot, the distance that's in between the two individuals was so accurate, as if you've mastered the art of shooting and the type of gun you carry.
Yeah.
I can't understand how could you be so accurate.
How quick he unloaded and reloaded. He practiced this. This was all pre-determined.
It's crazy.
This is the definition of premeditated murder. Literally. For sure. This was calculated tactfully. But here's the thing. I believe, and he did receive blowback now that I got more information from the news sources that the security guard there who did pass away, rest in peace to his family, did shoot back at the man. And I think he got either grazed or hit or whatever from the security guard, but he ended up killing the security guard still. Because the first person he shot, after that person, he shot everybody who was in the front, and then on his way in, he shot through the window. And when he shot through the window of the supermarket, people were struck so much so that by the time he got into the spot, people were still recovering from those shots. That he shot them. So much so they were on the floor, and then he finished the job. So this is how deep of a rooted hate he had. So much so on the gun, it says, here's your reparations. That's just one of the markings he had on the gun. Here's your reparations, because us as black people, I talk about reparations. So I believe,
Maggie, what's going on tonight? We're talking about are we
safe in America?
In America,
I believe if these people, maybe not them specifically,
a lot of different in-depth dynamics tonight. From economically being safe, do you have a great job? Do you, these companies are firing. Carvana just fired 2,500 workers. Netflix just fired 150 workers. The importance of having stable jobs. Now we're talking about a bit about the Buffalo shooting, understanding what happened, understanding mental health is a serious issue. Understanding peer pressure is a serious issue.
And let's clarify. I don't want people to think that we're saying what he did was a mental health issue. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
He ain't got no mental. He knows exactly what
he knows what he was doing. This is planned out properly.
But my point,
this is not a mental.
Yeah.
We're just talking about mental health in general.
Yeah, we're talking about mental health in general. But this is not. I'm not saying that because here's the thing. Because of the level of care and diligence he took, this is nothing mental health. He wanted to do this. Great, I got you. But I believe, to answer your question, Bobby, people need to either open their mind up to, listen, you don't need to have a big AK with you, but have maybe a little 22 with you, a little form of protection So if you're out in public, because nowadays you're more likely to get hurt outside of your house than in your house.
That's a powerful statement.
Most people used to get guns for what, Bobby? To keep in their house if somebody comes in at night. That ain't happening as often as much. It may happen in certain areas, pockets, but as an overall, that's not what's happening nowadays. Nowadays, you go to the gym, you get hit. You go to the dry cleaner, you might get killed. You go to the Walmart, you might eat them in. So
the real question that we're asking tonight, people, is a gun beneficial for protection outside of your house more than ever today? Yes, it is.
100%.
And I'm glad that was never answered. This is a whole different world. In Broward County, remember, in Fort Lauderdale Airport, there was a shooting.
Yeah, I remember that guy. Yeah.
Now you're telling me in Buffalo, New York, in a supermarket.
Well, at that time there was a few airport situations. That was Fort Lauderdale. There was another one in another state that happened.
Imagine.
Yeah, a bombing.
I never thought I'd say this, but remember Trump talked about something. If more people had guns, that situation would have been totally different. Because the way them books would have been coming back at him, he would have
my God, yeah, he would
have probably jumped his ass right back in that goddamn car.
Yeah,
and figured something
out. And we're not saying he would have resolved the issue and it's going to solve the problem. What we're saying is it's probably a potential fact of
for sure
it will slow down or reduce the amount of deaths. Because if somebody was strapped inside that Pulse nightclub with the gay club in Orlando, remember that?
One of the biggest mass shootings of all time. Unbelievable. I forgot how many. I think
somebody had
49 injuries.
Outside of the security guard, if somebody had something where they was just not drinking and they were able to handle a machine.
People were.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's the best result, but what I'm saying is that I believe more people need to be prepared for those type of situations. Whatever gun of choice is your carry, is up to you. I prefer something nice and sleek and small. But my point, because I'm not looking to be a mass murderer. I'm just looking to get out the situation.
And I'm gonna say this too, man. When we say prepare, I want to piggyback on you. Prepare now is also, if you're at a restaurant, you're at a certain location, pay attention to your surroundings.
Yeah, 100%.
What color shirt on this person has in, they just walked in. You're at a restaurant. I now see why it's important to not have my back turned. I need to see that door.
Yeah, I'm always.
I need to know where the exit door is at, because this now is changing the dynamics of stuff.
See,
I need to know what's going on. Who's who?
See, my previous life was not what it is now. So that was always my mindset, right? But now this is what most people need to be thinking. Not because they just want to be scary. No, because of what's currently going on. Our current environment, access to machine guns. I mean, and this is another topic. I'm not saying we need to limit guns completely. I'm just saying that type of a machine gun he had, that's made for warfare. A civilian doesn't need that.
Obama said it best. It's hard to. You got to understand there's a black market.
Yeah, I mean that's not going to stop. But
what you could do is add more detailed measurements to understanding every piece of the gun.
It's a black market, but not everybody can't get a hold of a silencer.
Correct. You know
because why? That's so high level to where if black market was so great, everybody would have had a silencer on their weapons.
That
you
is
couldn't
true.
hear nothing.
That is true.
So if it depends on the level of scrutiny.
That is true. That is true. It's very. This is such a tough topic because I want you guys to understand mental health. There's so many dynamics of it. We're going to talk about another angle of mental health while we talk about mental health. And again, we're not psychiatrists. We're just regular guys looking at things from the inside out or the outside.
We're not saying that this killer had a mental health issue.
Again, it's just letting you understand the importance of mental health. That's all we're saying. Look, I called Mike the other day. I said, Mike, there's another topic I want to talk about tonight when it comes to mental health is so many women getting shot and killed by their own spouse, partner, girlfriend, boyfriend. It's ridiculous.
Guy they just met.
Just met a man. And I'm looking at similarities to get a good understanding.
So are you talking about the thirst that most people, not men or women, just both sides, the thirst 100%. That people have for relations?
It's a real problem because a lot of people now are dying to just be that Cardi B. They're dying to be that Nicki Minaj. And I have no disrespect for these women because I'm a fan of both. And shout out to Nicki Minaj too, man. She's a dope artist. But it's more of you're watching entertainment be played. You're watching social media play entertainment, And a lot of women and men, you're trying to mimic what you see on entertainment stations.
And you may not even know it.
And that's the sad part. People
subconsciously you're doing that.
You want to be on a flight. You want to show that you're in Dubai. You want to show that you got this car. And then at the end of the day, people are losing lives minute for minute, second for second over material things and statuses and jealousy. I can't tell you how many people I done watched and read about, like, especially women are getting shot by their own boyfriend.
Yeah. I want to.
That's crazy.
I mean, it goes deeper to it goes.
Oh my God!
But I mean, you got girls who meet up with guys off these apps, and then not saying it's not a good place to find somebody, but because of the thirst of just being with somebody so much, is that
facts.
They're looking at every angle, every area, and God's gonna send them to me, and they're looking at every sign. It's like, oh, God just put him in my lap. Listen, God ain't sending nobody in your damn lap. It's up
all
to
emotion,
you.
But let's go lonely.
But here's my thing, right? I want to do a live one day where we talk about, because the power of just how social media has changed the sociological structure or status in America. Meaning this. If I ask you, Bobby, and you're not a content creator,
okay,
this is a question I have for all the non-content creators, meaning you don't make money off social media.
Correct.
At all. It's not a business for you.
Correct.
You just have it as a consumer. Why do you post?
That's a real question. You know why? A lot of people, it's all status. It's all, and it's not self-gratification. It's always about trying to prove to somebody else.
But that is the point of it. Some people, it's for self-gratification.
That's crazy.
There's some women who post, they don't make $1 off social media. It's just a personal
You don't make
site.
no money posting all day, showing your whole life, every step.
But what it does is this. You have the psychological aspect of, damn, I'm getting so much attention. I'm going to put this photo up, and I got 30,000 likes. Oh, my gosh, they love me. I'm so beautiful.
Nah, they just want to.
Right? And same with men, same with, it's both sides, not just women. I'm not just picking at women. Well, my point is this, is that if you're not in this for a business, I'm not picking at it. It's just really a real question. Why do you post? And the reason why I ask that is because social media has made us feel like us just this is the best thing for you. Is the norm. And really all that is it's kind of like you're becoming a sociopath in a sense. You're becoming a narcissist in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Correct. It's inflating things that really don't need to be inflated. But you gotta women are thinking they're hotter than they really are. Yeah, correct. Men are thinking they're cooler than they really are. And us, like I said, excluding the people who make money from this.
Really think about it. You got scammers online showing that they're scamming. Shit makes no sense. I'm scamming to not get caught in real life. Then I go post it on social media and I'm caught in the fake world of life.
So let me ask you, Bobby, has wanting to be included gone to a whole nother level to the point where it's become toxic?
For sure. Think about this. The reason
the feeling of wanting to be included.
The reason a lot of people do what they do, they trying to fit in. They want to be that somebody.
No, but that's not true. They're gonna tell you, "No, I just do this because I feel like
that's
I don't
a
care
lie."
About anybody else.
Because at the end of the day,
because if you post something, is it really for you or is it really for everybody else to see?
I'm gonna say this.
Because think about this right here. Here's the answer. Here's the monkey the monkey wrench in the works I'm about to throw right now. If you knew every time you post this week, this month, this year, everything you posted got 0 likes, 0 comments, would you continue to do it?
Some people will be depressed.
Would you continue to do it though?
For me?
No, not you.
Oh, not me. Right now.
Just
of course not. They would stop because they want the likes, the attention. I don't care what nobody say. A lot of people post because they want to fit in. I want to be. It's just like women. Oh my God, I can't stand the fact that she twerking. And you catch them on a private time when they doing some soft twerks. No, you want to be that. You want to be that same woman.
Right.
But in public, you want to be this professional.
Or you think educated. You can do better.
The truth is, man, we lost. That's why I always say we lost ourselves.
Yeah.
We have lost ourselves in the world and the hardest part about this is the young kids right now, their temperaments, they paying attention to social media. They're following the trend. These kids are killing people at young ages. These kids have no respect for nobody.
13, 14 in North
beating
Carolina.
up teachers.
Right now, it's a big thing in North
This
Carolina.
mental health stuff is real problem.
It's a big thing in North Carolina where kids, 13, 14, 15, are the most people getting arrested that have weapons like guns on them.
Imagine.
They're involved in the most shootings. 13 to 15-year-old kids, bro. Just so much so that on another news website or another news, I forgot which city, but their YouTube channel showed a kid that's 13. I'm talking about just came out the store with another friend and a girl. They hopped out. They're walking back to their car because they got the little corner store camera, and a car's pulling into the parking lot and going this way. They're going to their car. I guess the car said something, put the window down. The kid's 13 years old now. He pulled out with a stick, just to the point where the person who got hit twice in the ass, right? And it was a small, like, Mac 11. You're 13 with an extended clip on a handgun.
Listen to what we're talking about. Are you safe in America? Really think about this. We talk about the economic side. We talk about Buffalo, New York shooting. Now the young kids, mental health, it's a problem. Young kids are not stable. Where the parents at work, getting what? Overtime. Working what? 2 jobs. Working what? 3 jobs. Don't have time to do anything. Be there for their kids.
Bobby, they got bills to pay, bro.
They got, hey, go that line. I got bills to pay. But you can work smarter by getting a higher paying job. You can work smarter by adding a skill. You can work smarter by getting better partners. That's why in this world today, so many people are struggling mentally. The mental struggle is so bad. Working 2, 3 jobs, still struggling. People at the end of the day, these young kids, they need you better. And oh my God, they need you better. They need you more than ever right now. Kids are beating up teachers.
Yeah, right.
Shooting teachers, bringing certain types of things to school.
Listen,
I don't even want to. I tell people,
it's a kid.
I wouldn't even recommend being a teacher. I'm straight on that. Being a teacher, I'm straight.
It's a kid.
Crazy.
It's a kid that we didn't pay attention to that caused the Buffalo shooting.
Imagine.
We heard he gave us the red flag. We dismissed it. A 1 day and a half, evaluation. All right, he fine, he good. He's just going through some. Years later, he come up. Bah, 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 bah. He took 10 people's lives, 10 different families. That affects over 1,000 people.
People, it's such a.
Do we have any comments tonight?
It's such a problem.
This is ridiculous.
It's such a real problem. People, we got Maggie. Maggie said, I stay strapped. It's not gonna be me. If I can carry Miss Fuck You inside of a place, she's going.
I hear you.
Maggie, let me tell you something, man. It's always important.
I hear you.
I was brutally stabbed by my kid's father when my daughter was just 9 months. Wow. And I nearly died. I had to learn to walk again. I did nothing but wanted to leave him from mistreating me. Domestic violence is deadly. See,
we were talking about that earlier.
And this is the problem. Maggie, you talking some real shit, and I'm going to be honest with you. People, one of the things we talked about tonight, too, and I want you guys to reiterate and hear this clearly. Women who you're dating, you better understand. You better do some research. Do a background check. Watch their temperament. A lot of Black women, especially,
how they react to certain situations,
are getting killed by their own boyfriend.
Just people in general. Listen,
it's crazy.
What's the name of this shit? I saw this shit. I was watching. I think it was on Netflix. I was watching it. The husband who killed his girlfriend in Colorado and his 2 daughters.
You talk the white guy.
The white guy. He was working in construction. He played this shit off so clean.
Like,
came back home. Hey, what's going on? The house was so spotless. And then he was like, hey, I don't know. Her phone is here. He set up the whole thing.
Man, it seemed like he didn't understand what was going on.
And the neighbor was like, after everybody left, he's like, yeah, no, it's something going on. He'll never back in at night like this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. I know you watched it. I know you watched it, bro. I know you watched it.
Backing up and do it. Yeah.
Yeah, he backed because later on we found out he was backing up. He wanted to put the bodies in the truck, but he never backed. Like my point is this, and the whole time he was just getting his body loose. He had a whole nother girl.
Yeah.
A whole nother.
Yeah, he was loose. He was cheating.
To the point where the girl was like, I didn't know he was killed. He killed his family. I thought he was gonna leave me and leave his girl and
body in like
one of the oil wells.
Oil wells or something like that.
I forgot the name of it. Y'all know the name, put the name. It's on Netflix. But my point is, it's not just our community. This is happening to people all over.
It's sad, man. It's sad. People, we're human beings, man. people, if you're not, a lot of questions go back to this whole shooter, right? Who's his friends? There had to be signs.
I mean, his roommate said she was shocked. They interviewed his roommate and said his roommate was shocked that he could do something like this. And to me personally, I call bull
shit.
All right,
a dude doing that. There's signs everywhere, bro. There's signs everywhere. There's no. See, here's the problem. We'll take a sign and just brush it off. That's just him being crazy. Because this world now, I'm gonna be honest. This mental health. I'm trying to get a mental health specialist on my live to speak because this topic
don't
here.
Don't waste your time, bro. People ain't gonna do nothing about it.
Yeah, they ain't even gonna listen.
They ain't gonna do nothing about it.
They ain't gonna listen. But
they ain't gonna know about it. We ain't gonna waste that much
mental
time.
health right now is one of the biggest problems that's killing so many people in this world. It's not about black. It's not about white. It's not about Hispanic. It's about people.
Let's see.
A lot of people have health issues, mental health issues.
They do.
Their temperament. They think about killing themselves. Mad at everything.
Yeah.
Can't understand how to. The one thing I learned too, a lot of people can't balance life.
Yeah, they can.
Damn, I got bills. Damn, shit not going right. Oh man, let me just start killing people. Like what? Like hold on. How the fuck did we transition from? How did we transition from things not going well? I lost my job to I want to. You realize a lot of times the people that killed a whole bunch of people, they lost their job. Like one simple situation that people been going through. People been losing their job. Yeah. That's why nowadays I hear a person say, look, man, I don't know, man. I don't feel good about life. I feel like taking somebody's life. I ain't hanging with you. I'm done. That's the last. We ain't hanging. But we're not hanging out. I'm telling you. That is the last time we have a drink together.
Any conversation you ever had.
We're done.
Let's look at some more comments, man. I see some paragraphs over there, man. What we got, man? What are people saying tonight, man?
Oh, I guess.
Tonight we're just talking about different things, y'all. What we got?
She says, Maggie says social media is raising the adults and the kids. And that's the problem. Social media should not be so you gotta understand social media right now, to people that's life.
It is.
People wake up, don't even brush their teeth, scrolling. Scrolling on IG, scrolling.
It is.
That's all they think about. Oh, you wouldn't believe what happened to the baby. You wouldn't believe what happened to young thug. You wouldn't believe what happened to money back. What that got to do with you?
Other people's business.
And this is why we're struggling. We care more about other people than ourselves.
Instead of learning how to use other people's money.
And learn how to invest it to create wealth, what we doing is wasting time worried about gossip. Worried about things that ain't doing nothing for us. And this is why we're struggling. Instead of getting knowledge to understand why are you working 2-3 jobs, instead you'd rather work 2-3 jobs and complain that you ain't getting a raise. A raise is not going to fix your problems, people. I don't know if y'all understand this by now. A lot of y'all still begging for raises like it's going to solve your problems. It's not.
You got to beg for a raise from a job, you leave a job.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
I've got 3 raises over 2 years that I didn't ask for. They just gave it to us.
See, that's the problem too.
It's by default. I was like, oh, shit, okay, cool. That's appreciated.
A lot of people ain't going to ask for a raise. They scared. You know how many people working on thin ice right now? Like they don't even want to ask for a raise. They might lose the job. Imagine how disrespectful that is.
You asking for a raise?
Like, let's just get rid of you, sweetheart. Look, we're gonna write you up.
Yeah, let's go ahead and pack up your stuff for me, please. No, actually, don't even worry about it. You can leave. We're gonna ship it to you.
Scott Peterson, we're not gonna stay too long, y'all. We know it's late night.
What he said?
I guess she gave us the name of the guy who.
Scott Peterson.
Maybe that's the guy.
No, I don't know. No, not that. She's talking about the old one. I know who she's talking about. Maybe she's talking about the one who the baby was still in the belly, where Scott Peterson killed his wife. I'm not talking about that one. I think I know Scott Peterson. I'm talking about this one. Is the one where it's on Netflix recently. It was.
I can't believe I can't remember the name.
I can't remember the name. I watched the whole thing too. It was like 2 seasons. It wasn't long.
And the guy was into lifting weights and being fit. And this man was straight playing his wife, and he was a straight killer. Killed his whole family.
Killed his whole family. Him and his 2 daughters.
Exactly.
They moved to Colorado because he got a good job. They was all online.
Unbelievable.
I'm talking about her whole life was online, bro. And they see, she started complaining to her friends.
And remember, he didn't want to have sex.
He didn't want to have sex.
Yeah.
She's like, hopefully I get sex. She's like, this is ridiculous. You don't want to F me in like a month. He's not getting it from me. He getting it from somebody else. And she's ranting to one of her friends over text. And she's just like,
I'm gonna get the name of that movie. People, I want you guys to know. Thursday nights, Tuesday nights, we're gonna start talking more about life because there's so many topics to discuss. Like, I mean, I can't wait to even discuss the whole Young Thug and Gunna. multi-millionaires getting arrested on RICO charges. I've never met these brothers.
Right. The price of fitting in.
People, what are we doing? What are we doing?
This is what I call the price.
What are we doing? You made it and you're still living a life. Yeah, it's true.
The price of being cool.
What are we doing?
The price of being cool.
Mike, we going for the night, man. People, this is your boy Bobby from Mentourme.com. I hope you guys enjoyed.
It's your boy Mike the Advisor. We appreciate y'all. If you have any options, any suggestions and things you want us to talk about, please let us know. You know,
please
we
let us know, man.
But we're going to keep it truthful. That's one thing.
We're going to keep a very painful truth. The painful truth is going to set us free and get us stronger, mentally better in this world so we can live a better life. So now we talked about three things. The economic safety, understanding getting a great job, great career so you can be financially strong.
With a great company.
For sure. Number two, mental health. People, life is not easy. It's never going to get any easier. But it's important to understand, man, you got to balance yourself. Trust me, there's only 24 hours in a day. I do a lot. He does a lot. It's all about balance. Stay happy, save money, love people around you, try to make sure you get things done. You're never going to have a perfect day. Things don't go as planned. It's life.
This is why you need to put these systems in place as much as possible.
Maggie said, I think y'all should do more mentoring for young black boys. I'm going to say this, man. Maggie, I'm all for it. If somebody can set it up, I'm for it. But I'm going to tell you something. I've done it 3 times. And every time I do it, parents show up, but not the kids. Parents will show up because they want the knowledge, but the kids don't show up.
The kids will show up if Young Thug's going to be there.
Exactly.
The kids will show up if Rick Ross coming there. You have to understand. When kids are there, if you ain't got an iPad or a phone to give them, you in for you about this kid's about to cause hell in wherever you at.
I don't mind educating these kids, but I want y'all to understand. You can only
bring them so far.
You can only bring them so far. These kids require much more. And in these high schools, I'm gonna keep it real with you. If y'all want to hear the honest truth, you want to hear the honest truth. Certain D schools, I was applying to go speak at. They wouldn't let me in. They'd rather let rappers in, local rappers that have no hit records. And
because they know a teacher there. That's why.
Exactly. But A, B, and C schools letting me in all day. But who needs to help? This D schools.
They're not letting you in.
They're not letting me in. That's why I've learned the system is corrupted. And I tell people it's not as easy as you think.
Yeah.
These young kids, they need direction. They need real knowledge to move forward in life and grow financially.
And let's one last thing, because I get annoyed too. I see a lot of these corporations, they give the wrong people platforms to speak. The wrong people. I want people to understand when we're speaking, right? We're speaking from areas of expertise, right?
Yeah.
You know, me and Bobby are licensed to talk about certain things.
For sure.
Right? And you have to understand what we're telling you is not what to do, more so how to think. You make the decision, it's up to you. Right? This is why we pose the question, are we safe in America? But we're not speaking from we think, no. We've done the research, we've done the knowledge, we've done the due diligence, we do this for a living, right? So there's certain things with areas that we speak about, right?
It's just real shit.
It's not to toot a horn, but it's to show you that it's coming from a credible source. A lot of people get financial information or just information. Let me not say financial information. Let me just say information from the wrong sources, meaning these people do not have a track record. These people do not have the education. These people do not have the certifications to kind of talk about these things. Not saying that you need those to be best, but what I'm saying is be careful who you listen to on these platforms.
Man,
I might be advisor.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm closing out too, but I'm gonna say this: he's 100% right. There are so many fake gurus that have never invested, never lost 100 racks, never invested into anything, don't know what they're talking about, giving people advice, and that's why these kids are getting hurt, losing money. That's why these adults don't have or don't believe in investing. So many falsified guru platforms teaching you how to make money in real estate, stocks, and many other things. People, be careful. Source your information. Do your homework. Do your due diligence. Man, it's sad out here, man. I hope a lot of you understand the importance of what we're doing. May God bless you all. Have a great night. It's your boy Bobby from Mentourme.com. People, please, man. Peace, peace, peace.
Have a good one, y'all.
Maggie, what's popping?
Appreciate y'all. Yeah.